Board. Okay, everybody, welcome back to our Momentum Summer School series. Today, we are so excited to have the amazing Julie. She is an awesome mom boss, and she's going to be sharing with us about social media. I'm really excited to hear what she has to say. She is actually part of the Mob Alliance, which we are super big supporters of, and you can hear more about MobCon in our emails because Julie, you're going to be there too, right? Yeah. We're excited to go to the MobCon conference that is coming up at the end of September 29th and 30th in sunny San Diego, California. So we will be there. Julie will be there, and we're excited to be one of the sponsors. So we wanted to have Julie come on and share her wonderful knowledge with us today about social media and really getting set up with it in a simplistic but meaningful way. So I'm going to turn it over to her because she's our expert today, and she's going to get this presentation going. So Julie, it is all yours.
Hi, I'm Julie. Sliker is my last name. It's kind of hard to pronounce. I'm a graphic designer, and I specialize in logos and branding, and I'm also a social media educator. The second part's why everybody's here today to join me live or during the replay. And we're here for the Momentum Market Summer School, and thanks Brooke and Stephanie for having me today. I'm going to be chatting about social media, and one of the big things that one of the purposes of what I do is to save people time. I want you to be able to manage your own social media for your business, and I want you to understand how to use it effectively, and I really want you to be able to spend less time working on your social media so you can spend more time working in your business. So today I'm going to talk to you about social media and starting with a PR mindset. Let's see here. The slide thing's a little bit new. So I wanted to make sure today to give you some actionable tips and save you time on social media to get off on the right foot, whether you're just starting your business or you're a new business owner. I feel like my parents hammered home points to me over the years, and one of them was starting the right way with a firm foundation and how that'll always save you time in the end. You know, sort of that measure twice, cut once mentality. Thinking about you and advice I give to new business owners, that's why I narrowed down to this topic today. I wanted to chat about this because there's some things that you need to know that'll save you time and probably some tears later on. So no, we're not going to talk about whether you should wear the pink top or the yellow one in your selfie, and there's a time and a place to talk about that later, and I'm all about colors, so don't worry about that. Today we're going to get your foundation all set up so making decisions like that will be easier down the road, and if you have questions about color and photos, I could talk about that all day. And I will, as you get to know me better or join me in my community. I am the girl with the rainbows on everything. I like all the colors. I like them all together. One of my favorite things to do is sit down with a little Pantone color book and flip through and pick out colors for people. I used to work at a scrapbook store, and my thing was people asked me what colors went with things, and I walked them all around the store and helped them pick out stuff. So that was a really fun part of that job. And I think that, let me see here, I'm going to move your guys' faces a little bit over on my screen. So we're going to get started. And what should I post on Instagram? I get this question a lot from business owners, clients, potential clients, friends, my family members. You know, my daughter is 18 and she has a small business herself selling her art. And so she always says that, Mom, what kind of things should I post on my social media? And I really think that it's a bigger question than what to post. When we're talking about business social media accounts and having a good foundation built before you start is the very best way to go with that. If you already have accounts you've been posting to, don't worry. It isn't too late to shore up that foundation before you get back to posting on your accounts. Today, I'm going to talk about looking at Instagram and what you're posting from a new perspective that you probably haven't thought about before. So we're going to think of Instagram as a tool. Here it comes. It's a tool that's a little more fluid than most tools you use in your business. You use a phone to describe your products and services, to answer calls from customers. So you see a phone as a tool. That's a pretty easy comparison. And then next you respond to customer service emails. Your computer's your tool. And when you make copies of flyers and marketing pieces, the copier's the tool. So in these examples, the tools are all being used to present your business to your audience. Communicating with your audience and developing these relationships with individuals is an important part of being a business owner. When we talk about using social media for business, we're talking about the crucial part of communicating with an audience. To me, developing a strategy for using Instagram in your business means using it as a tool and controlling how your audience of customers, potential clients, collaborators, and others perceive your business. Instagram isn't just about how to fill your feed with pretty photos or how to write captions that get people to click on the link in your profile, or choosing the perfect hashtags to make your post show up in your ideal customer's feed even though she doesn't follow you, or knowing a perfect time to post because your ideal customer picks up the phone and surfs while her kids are napping. Oops, see? Oh, I skipped ahead. But knowing all these things are important because they help your account grow, but learning every possible strategy to create the perfect Instagram account isn't really possible. So you need to think about the feeling of what you put in your feed, and you need to get over the feeling that it has to be perfect. There are so many different levels that social media can be intimidating and overwhelming, and it stops a lot of small business owners from even starting to share on social media. I'm surprised how many people I meet in the mob say, oh, I don't have an Instagram account yet. I don't use Facebook. I have one for myself, but I just really didn't want to get in to learn very much about that. I think it's too much for me. So we talk in our meetups a lot about easy ways for people to use social media to market their business without, knowing everything that there is to know about Facebook ads. You don't have to start out that way. Things can be a lot simpler than that. And so I want to approach social media from a little bit different angle. But first, I wanted to let you guys get to know me a little bit better. I'm Julie from Julie Chats, and I'll tell you about why I chose that name later. I'm mom to Delaney, who's 18, and she's going off to college in the fall, and Jake, who's 11, and he plays sports 24 hours a day. Just last week, baseball season ended a little bit early. We thought we might be going out of town to a remote part of Oregon for all next week. So that's one reason I like being able to work from my computer, because when I leave town and go places for events and different things, I can take my computer and work from wherever I am, because we have great things like Zoom. So my journey to be in this chair chatting with you is a long and winding one. I have some important tidbits, and I invite you to follow me on social media to find out the others. I grew up on the Oregon coast, and I was obsessively involved in high school. I was a yearbook and newspaper editor my senior year, and that's really too much for anybody. By the end of the year, I was just ready to chuck it all and run away somewhere. So I really felt like going to a big school was great because I got to be anonymous. I went 2 hours away to study journalism at the University of Oregon. I chose public relations as my path after I was there. I thought I would be, my dream in high school was to be an advertising executive and make really cool commercials, and move to San Francisco and, wear all the cool clothes that I saw everyone wearing in the 80s. And that was, my one of my reasons for doing that in school. But when I got there, I realized that the advertising department was really cutthroat. And when I started to dive into public relations, there was a smaller community there. And a lot of the things that relations specialists do are the same as advertising, but you approach it from a different way, where it's more about helping people find out information and telling them about the great things that the company that you work with does. And I really liked that, because I like companies that are about helping people and supporting their community. So that was a big thing. So I really did like being anonymous in a big school. That was really nice after high school, and being from a small town where my mom was a realtor and got asked questions in the grocery store. So it was nice. I carved my own path and went to public relations. And after college, I moved to Portland. Right now I live in Beaverton, which is a suburb of Portland. Today, it looks like it's going to be sunny. Yesterday it was sunny, it was cloudy, it rained. We got all the things. So that's kind of normal for here. It's usually a little bit hotter in the summer. But when I moved here, the economy wasn't so great for people who were journalism majors. And over the years, I have had a variety of jobs in the real estate industry. I always freelanced on the side. I love designing things. For a while, I made baby announcements. I've designed media packets for companies and logos for almost 25 years now. The freelancing held my passions: design, color, making things by hand, helping small businesses, and later building social media presences. When I started out doing it, social media wasn't a thing. Everything had to be a piece of paper handed to someone. And I really like how social media can reach out to a lot of people. It's not as intrusive, I feel. You can scroll by the ad if you don't really like it. You can even help, answer some questions about ads on your social media, and then they'll deliver ones that are more suited to you. So I think that that's really important. And also, I really love that small businesses can use social media for free. You don't have to hire a designer. You don't have to wonder how much it costs to print that brochure in the 4 colors that you really like, because you're just designing things that people see on their computer screen. After 25 years of helping small businesses and having my foundation be from public relations, it makes me a perfect person to guide moms along a path to simple social media marketing strategies for their businesses. As a mom and a business owner, I understand how you need to save time and effort every chance you get. We want to have more time for the parts of business we love and also our families. So spending less time on your marketing so that you can make toys or you can take pictures really makes sense to me, because I want the people who are creative to be able to spend more time doing their things. When I was thinking about the things that I wanted to share with you today, 2 things came to mind. Saving time and giving you information that you can start using right now today. So starting with a PR mindset has 2 simple things for me. So I'm breaking the lesson into 2 pieces: developing know, like, and trust through your posts, and being your own PR consultant. I think that these 2 will transform the way you see social media and other parts of your business. So you might have heard of know, like, and trust before. Maybe they're vaguely familiar, strung together like that, or maybe that's just a bunch of jargon that you've heard marketing people say. And yes, marketing professionals use that a lot, and it's because it's really important for us to think about our relationship with our community and how our business relates to them. So the important thing for you to know as you post on social media is that every post should have a purpose. Your posts shouldn't be thrown up just because you feel like you need to make a post because, I post every day and I have to make one today and I'm not really sure what it should be, so I'll just toss a picture of a product up there. You really need to stop and think about the purpose of each post, and for every post to ask yourself these questions. Does at least one of them should apply, and maybe more of them do. So, does this post help the reader get to know me or my business better? Will this post encourage the reader to like me or my business? Is this post serving my customers and helping them develop a trust of me and my products? So, when we think about getting to know my business better, posts that fit into this category let the reader know more about you and your products and services. Informative posts explaining a service or introducing a product fit in this category. Now, when you think about liking you or your business, for me, these posts are the ones where you show a little of your humorous side or a fun part of your business the reader may not realize exists. A background story of how you came up with your business name or a specific product to help people like your business just a little bit more. And maybe a fun shot of you at a conference where you're learning something that'll help your customers, or taking a class, your kids packing orders, shows people that you're just like them. You're juggling all the things and you have a lot to get done, but you're really excited to help them too. So when you think about trust, this is a really important thing for your business. And when I think about developing trust, I automatically think about positioning someone as an expert at what they do. Also posting a quote graphic that pertains to your business, something inspirational, and then expanding on your thoughts about that in your caption and asking people questions and then responding to them authentically in incomplete sentences when they ask a question. It helps with engagement numbers on your social media, and it also shows people that you really did stop to think about it. You didn't just say, "That's nice," or "love it." You actually had thoughts and you're thinking about them. Also, as far as posting a graphic with a quote, you can also use testimonials. Ask your customers for testimonials to put on your website so that they can say, how wonderful you are, how helpful, whatever problem you helped them solve. Have them give you a comment about that, and then you can use that in your social media, and it helps show potential customers how they could trust you because this person did. So that is something. Also in the trust category, discussing an aspect of your business that's more difficult than others and explain how you overcame a challenge. Seeing the real person who works hard for their clients and shares real life challenges and not just the perfect parts of life on social media can also help you grow trust with your audience. I'm not saying that these photos aren't on brand. Staying on brand is important, but maybe you post a photo of your desk or your product with text telling them the backstory of the challenging moment. You don't have to post a picture of your messy office. You probably don't want to see mine right now, but you can when you do clean up your office, take some pictures of your desk and your workspace or where you build your products. Photos of where you pack products. I have an Etsy shop, so I've taken pictures of all the envelopes set up and labels and things like that, and then I talk about, packaging and shipping and how, when I have participated in large sales, my kids have helped and I've taken pictures of them packing things. Even my husband helped. He wasn't totally excited about it, but he really liked that I got 50 orders in one day. So, those are the kind of things that people like to know, because when they support a small business, they like to know that you're a small business, So think about things like that when you're thinking about what to post. And these 3 questions or combinations of them should fit each of the photos that you're planning to post on social media. And I'm kind of thinking, I lead with Instagram. And I'll talk about a course I have later, and that's kind of how I came to that. I'm a super visual person, and I love that I can just scroll through Instagram and I can see the things that I want to see. I can see pretty pictures. I can get to know people better. And it's just something I use. Facebook a lot. It just isn't my favorite. So everybody has their favorite way of using social media. So the next time you post a photo, ask yourself these questions before you start the caption. Maybe the answer is obvious and what you're planning to post fits perfectly into one of these categories. Maybe asking the questions causes you to change what you were going to use as your caption. And maybe you realize the photo doesn't fit in any of these areas. In that case, I recommend against using the photo. Save it for later, because maybe a caption will come to you that will help grow your know, like, and trust with this photo, but maybe not. Sticking with photos and captions that fit into these 3 categories helps you grow a community of engaged followers on your social media. The people who resonate with your posts will be your people, your audience, also known as your public. And we're heading back to public relations. The people who make up your public, that's how they taught it to us in school. You can have a lot of different publics. They can be people who have purchased your products, people who are potential customers. That's kind of how it's divided up, mostly for small businesses. And they will be people who relate to your posts, and they'll show know, like, and trust for you and your products and services when you answer these questions before you write your post. The people who do this are the ones who are most likely to purchase your products and services and also recommend you to their friends and family. They might not be ready to purchase your service. It might cost too much for them right now, but don't worry about that. They're still interested in you, and they want to be a customer of yours. And everyone has a lot of friends in real life and on social media, and people are always asking for recommendations. So be sure to remember that when you look at social media, and when you're a small business, especially as a mom who owns a business, be sure that you're recommending other moms who own businesses when people are asking questions. And that's something that we do in our MOB Facebook group. It's a requirement that when someone asks for recommendations, you recommend someone who is a MOB, a mom-owned business person. Really, there is a mom who owns a business who does everything. And there are a lot of people in the group who are switching out almost everything in their lives to be provided by a mom who owns a business. So when you're helping and you're referring, it also brings good karma, because all those people who follow you and the people that you recommend and tag will recommend you too, and those are another way to grow your business. So, all right, so we're going to move on here, and we're going to talk about being your own PR consultant. There are a lot of hats that you wear in your job, and a lot of people don't really realize that the foundation for social media and marketing, and really a lot of things that you do in your business can be improved by starting thinking about public relations. So I'll tell you why it's important. I have a definition. Public relations is the maintenance of a favorable public image by a company, or the state of the business relationship between the public and a company. So I shortened them a little bit for our purposes, and I like to think that public relations is how the public sees your business. Their perceptions and opinions of your reputation depend on all of your interactions with them. your audience, and there may be more than one of these publics or audiences that you're talking to, but for our purposes today, we're talking about customers, clients, potential clients, and members of your community who see or potentially could interact with you. You just never really know exactly where your posts are going to end up, or who's going to share them, or who's going to recommend you to someone. So those people are part of your public too. It's important to know that everything you handed in the world, every product description, photo, post, email, flyer, video, Facebook, Instagram Live, an in-person chat is a piece of a puzzle that creates how people see your business. So I want you to think about this. Are you seen as friendly, responsible, detailed, flexible, dependable, fun, professional, caring, whimsical? I'd really like for you to grab a pen and paper and take a minute and think about this. Jot down a list, I would say at least 10 or even more adjectives that you would be happy to have people use when they describe your business to their friends. So think about that for just a minute. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and press pause. But take a minute and think about the positive things that you would like people to be saying about you when they talk to their friends. I'll give you a second. Since I have no music, no Jeopardy music, it's kind of, not as exciting. You can also do this later. But take a look at that list, or think about the words that you are going to put on that list. I bet it makes you smile when you read those words. They're all positive things. Take a second and imagine people telling their friends about your business and using them. Think about how great it will feel to have a customer use a handful of them in an online review. Yes, she was really responsible and flexible, got me everything on time, and really professional, and I felt like she cared a lot about me. That's like an amazing review that you'd be super excited to get. So, think about, don't cry, but think about how it would be if someone told you those things in person. If you ran into someone at the grocery store or at a networking event, and they said all those kind things about you. I want you to gather up all of those feelings of happiness and pride and compare them to the words that people have when they read the following items that you put out. Do they feel, or would they use those words to describe you after reading a social media post, after reading your blog? Those are probably two easier ones. Your email newsletters, do they feel those words? And then there's some more difficult ones, the responses to your social media comments. When you comment to them, are they going to think these nice thoughts about you? Responses to any questions that they have. As a social media manager for a large event organization, we get the same question a lot of times. And when I think about this, and when I think about how I want people to respond when they read my answer to their question, I want them to think those nice words. I don't want them to realize that I'm thinking, gosh, they asked that question. That's like the 100th time I've answered that question. Couldn't they just search the group? You think those things, but that's not, you have to think about how you want those people to feel. So then even the more difficult one is, do they feel those positive words as response to the customer service issues when they email you to say that I sold planner stickers for a long time, when they email you to say that their order didn't arrive, not everything was in it, it got wet and ruined, or they're just generally unhappy about something. When you respond to them, even though you're responding to a difficult item, you want those responses to be things that they will still say, oh, she cares about me and she's really responsible and professional. They may not think you're whimsical and fun, but they will, realize that you're professional and you're dealing with them in a professional way. So yes, I went there. Do people who contact you and use less than polite words still elicit a response that would have them describing you with even one of those words from your list? This is where you, as your own PR consultant, have to be honest with yourself and remember that everything you say and do creates the reputation for your business. Whether having an in-person chat or using a written form of communication, we want you to think before responding. Think before you speak, type, and post. No matter what type of communication it is, think about this. Ask yourself, after reading this, will the recipient think I am? And read your list again. Sorry. Yes, I know that people can be challenging, difficult, rude, and downright mean, but you are a professional, and responding in a professional way is the only way to keep on being a professional. Sure, I give you permission. Hang up, put down the phone, leave the room, turn off the computer, take 3 deep breaths, and being sure you're completely out of range of the offender, go ahead and whine, cry, yell, swear, whatever makes you feel better. But then go back and be professional. Do the things. Think, take that time, think about a response that's going to have someone still feel like you're a professional after you respond. It's not our first natural thing. I used to be an escrow officer, and I did have one client who made me cry. And of course, I was really pissed off. It wasn't just that I was I was really mad about the position that they put me in. And I went home that night and I thought, wow, that makes me even more mad, but I need to take a deep breath and call the guy back and schedule his appointment tomorrow. And, you still want to have a relationship with people. And when you're upset, you still want to ask yourself some questions. Calm down and, have a response ready. Type up a response, write it down. If you're going to say it out loud, take a few minutes. Not everyone needs to be texted back when they're upset in 2 seconds. Pretend you didn't see it for a while. Take a little while to think about it so that you're calm, and read over your response and put yourself in their place. Pretend that someone's saying this to you about something that you're not happy about, and ask yourself these questions. Do I sound the way I want my business to sound when I respond this way? Am I professional and also friendly and approachable? You still really do want these people to be your customers. Yes, there's a rare time when you really don't care if they're ever your customer again, but in most cases, people aren't that upset. My mom gets kind of upset about things like that, but then she's over it in a few minutes, so I have to remind her that, yeah, that waiter didn't, put salt on your food or whatever she's upset about. So you have to think about it. You're still going to see those people in a few minutes. You're still going to want them to be on your social media. Do I use language that's easy to understand? It's easy when someone's upset with us and we want to respond to kind of respond back, maybe with more jargon or a more kind of higher level response. You have to think, am I giving people respect, even if it wasn't given to me? Because that's how you build relationships. And it doesn't, because they were disrespectful to you, doesn't mean that you should be disrespectful back to them. It's kind of like how we teach our kids that just because someone called you a name doesn't mean that you should call them a name back. Maybe they're having a hard day, all the things that we don't know what's going on with them. And most of the time people feel bad after that situation. You also want to avoid sounding condescending. You don't want to talk down to them and make them feel stupid because they asked a question. They don't know that you've answered the question a million times. To them, it's their first time asking, and it's a legitimate question. or they wouldn't have taken time to ask the question. So you have to think about this, whether you're writing emails, talking to people in person. These can also be things when people comment on social media, and sometimes they go to social media to say their order didn't come or it was blue and not red. So it's extra important with social media that you think about these and you think about your responses, because your response is public. That person doesn't have to take a screenshot of their email and share it online on Yelp or whatever to have a lot of people see what you said to them. So think about that, because any response you have could really be public, but social media just automatically is. And I've seen things go sideways for companies really quick when they answer in a really emotional way to someone who was emotional with them and wasn't respectful, then they snap right back the same way. So you really want to take some time with that. Now, I'm sure you've heard this before, but the customer's always right, right? That's a quote people say. It's a lie. Mom may have said it, but that doesn't make it true. The customer may in fact be wrong. Their complaint or their issue that they're upset about might be wrong. The package might be there. It might be under the plant by the front porch. They might have pressed blue instead of red when they ordered the shirt from your website. So that's okay. But don't forget that when you answer them, mad customers are the first ones to jump online and make comments or give bad reviews. When you look at things, I like to look at Yelp and TripAdvisor when I go places, and I read reviews of restaurants a lot. And I kind of laugh because a lot of them are negative. And you can tell that a lot of people were upset by one thing. And I try to kind of ignore that because it's not usually an overall picture of the business. But I know that, and a lot of people don't. So a lot of people will read that bad review from that one mad person who ordered a blue shirt, and they thought they ordered a blue shirt and you sent them a red one. So you want to think about that. The customer might be wrong, but that really doesn't matter. So you never want to yell back at them or, use your keyboard full of caps. You want to think ahead, and you want to come up with a list of potential issues and complaints. So sit down, take a little while, get out your notebook, and think about your business. Think about the kinds of things. I mean, if you sell cookies, someone's not going to order a blue one instead of a red one, but they might order chocolate chip instead of sugar or something like that, or 1 dozen instead of 10 dozen. So think about the kinds of things that someone could come into your establishment, your online shop, and be unhappy about. Make a list of them, brainstorm them, write them down. I mean, really, people get upset about so many different things. So it's best if you prepare ahead of time and you have that list and complaints, then write out a response. If someone said that to you in person, or if someone wrote that on your social media or emailed or called you on the phone, what would you say to them? If you have a little paragraph practiced, or hey, in the notes, keep them in the notes app on your phone. And when you get a problem, you have a response to it. So when someone comments on your Instagram, you might not have to go away for an hour and think about what you should say. You might have that response right there in your notes program, in your notes app. Be sure to edit it so that it exactly pertains to what they ask. Because if you copy and paste and you didn't pay attention to the details, you're just going to have somebody who's even more mad. But when you're doing those responses, edit them until you can answer every single one of them in a way that is positive, or by the end of your response, the people will have the positive thoughts about you. So, and I just want you to think about that, because when you write out the responses, reread them, edit them, like I said, so that people have positive thoughts. Also be sure that your customers will use some of those heartwarming adjectives to describe you after they read it. Anticipating future issues. Here we go. And having a plan to calmly deal with them will make you your own best PR consultant. It also makes responding to uncomfortable social media posts simpler, quicker, and less stressful. It's upsetting. Negativity is upsetting, and it's always something that makes us nervous. And I just want to think, then when you think about those things, the moral to the story is that everything you put out in the world should make you feel at least one of those 10 adjectives when they read it or hear it. Everything you say goes into forming people's opinions of you and making your reputation. Not just what you say in person, not just the flyer that you give out, not just what you put on social media. It all goes together. So take that list of positive adjectives that you want people to use to describe you and put it in your office near your computer, or take a screenshot and keep it on your phone so that you remember the feelings that you want people to have when they see and read your social media posts and all your other communication. That is my presentation today, and I hope that I helped you think about some of the things that you need to think about before you make posts on social media, because when you come from a place of thinking about the reputation of your business and thinking about whether each post is going to create know, like, and trust, it really will help you build the community that you're looking for on your social media. So if you have any questions, I'm here. And if you want to send me an email, that's great. I offer a 15-minute Zoom call to chat for free, to chat with you about social media and branding needs. My email's here. I'm julie@juliechats.com. And oops, I almost forgot. I was going to tell you about that, Julie Chats. When I first started my blog back in 2008, people were just starting to suggest about using your name, like johnsmith.com. And that people said, that's the best way to set up your website. Well, my maiden name was Julie Williamson. And that's a common name. So a lot of people already had that name. My maiden name, which on Zoom you can see, is Slaker. It's Danish. My husband's family is from Denmark. No one can pronounce it. No one can spell it right. You definitely don't want that in your .com. No one will ever find me. So I thought about it, and I wanted to be sure that I thought about all the things that I like to do. I scrapbook, I take pictures, I do a little bit of exercise, just a lot of different things that I thought about doing. When I started my blog, it was about scrapbooking, but I kind of had a feeling that it would in the future be about something else. And I didn't want the name to be too specific. I know myself, and I'm multi-passionate. I kind of am like the squirrel, the dog, and Up with directions that I go in sometimes. I've been a lot better about that since I hired a business coach. Highly recommend it. But ran through it all, and you can probably tell from here today, hopefully I didn't talk too fast, is that I love to talk. I like getting to know people. I love sharing the things that I know that I think can help people, and I'm really informal. So Julie Chats was what I settled on. It's easy to spell, and in my family, easy to spell wins every time. I already switched my slide. So I also wanted to tell you a little bit about a brand new course that I have out. It's a PDF, and it's an e-course, so you can open your screen and flip through it. The course saves you time on marketing. When you complete it, you'll have a Facebook business page, business Instagram account, and Twitter account, and the profiles will be optimized for engagement with your clients and potential clients. And they'll also be linked together. So you'll post to one channel, Instagram in this case, and it'll auto post to Facebook and Twitter. So if you're just jumping into social media, or if you need to spruce up those profiles to make them more professional, I provide a lot of social media pro tips in the step-by-step instructions. And at the end, you'll spend less time marketing your business and more time working in your business. And I think that that's really important for moms who own businesses especially. So I have one other thing to share. I have 2 printable notebooks. Being a planner and designing the planner for the mob, I have a lot of digital downloads of notebooks in my Etsy shop, and I'm offering 2 free notebooks as gifts for signing up for my newsletters. You can sign up on my website, juliechats.com, and you'll get an email back with a download for my social media tracker that helps you keep track of the numbers that I think are most important for social media, and also a rainbow theme weekly daily to-do list. There's a whole week on one page. Each day is broken down so that you can put your most important to-dos on there and spread them out over the week so that you don't feel like you have 95 things to do in one day. So I'm all about saving time. So I wanted to offer you guys those things for free. So that's it for me, and I wanted to thank everybody for being here and for watching the replay, and I wanted to thank Momentum Marketplace for having me. This is my very first live class, in case you couldn't tell. I read my notes a lot, but I hope you got a lot of good information, and let me know if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julie, for sharing your knowledge today. We really appreciate it. And we will link all of Julie's information on the email that we'll send out with the replay. And then we'll also send a recap on Sunday in case you missed that. So thank you so much, Julie, for your time. And we're excited to see you at MobCon. So
I'll see you in San Diego.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much.